Hi, thank you for joining us. My name is Fatima, representing the PACC today. And with us, we have Dr. Mohammed Shamiya. He is the American Board he is of Internal Medicine and Sleep Medicine. He's currently the president of Las Vegas Sleep Center and faculty for the Internal Medicine residency at Sunrise Graduate Medical Education. Dr. Mohammed Shamiya, thank you so much for joining us today.
You are very welcome. Thank you for conducting this interview about COVID-19.
PACC, we felt that it was very beneficial to discuss coronavirus and what's going on with this pandemic, how we can help them and their families, battle through this tough time. And so we have a couple questions for you today that we'll be asking you. And what we're going to start with is, what is the coronavirus? Why is it so dangerous?
Coronavirus is one of the viruses, we call it RNA viruses. It is simple virus comparing to the more complex DNA viruses. Uh, the special thing about the coronavirus is the way that it is very contagious, uh, the way that it is more aggressive than like the influenza virus, where it binds in the lung on some receptors of the lung and cause severe inflammation of the lungs. We found it actually not only causing lung issues, but causing a lot of blood metabolical issues and heart issues, and affecting even the kidneys by itself as a virus, not just because of the inflammation. The way that it lasts for 3 days on surfaces, the way it is contagious, that make it more like severe and special. And a lot of times it is not symptomatic within like 1 to 2 weeks, and that is more dangerous because a lot of patients they are carrying it for 1 2 weeks, or maybe they will never have any symptoms, and then they go and spread the virus. And this is the most dangerous because we can't really determine from day one if you have it or not. So I'm gonna translate what I said in Arabic. فبالعربي هذا الفيروس نوع من انواع الار ان فيروسز اللي بتشتغل انها تصيب الرئه، وممكن كمان انها تصيب القلب وحتى الكلى. مشكله هذا الفيروس او خطورته انه بيقعد انه معدي بشكل كبير، انه ممكن اسبوع لاسبوعين الواحد ما يكون عنده اي اعراض، او ممكن حتى ما يصيبه اي اعراض في اي وقت، مجرد هو حامل لهذا الفيروس وبنقله للناس بشكل كبير، معدي بشكل سريع. والناس واحنا ما فينا يعني احنا لكل واحد انه نعرف اذا عنده الفيروس او لا الا في بعض هلا بلاد تيست موجوده. وهذه الخطوره الكبيره، بالاضافه انه العدوانيه تبعيه الفيروس وشراسته لبعض الناس اللي ممكن تؤثر انه على مثل ما انا قلت على الرئه والقلب والكلاوي وكل الجسم بشكل عام.
شكرا كتير. Thank you so much. So we're going to be giving the answers in English بالإنجليزي وبالعربي كمان، هيك انتوا فيكم تفهموا علينا. One thing that people have always asked is, and one thing that people don't even consider is this virus airborne, and for how long?
So the virus, so there were a lot of studies about if the virus is airborne or what we call droplet way. So initially we thought it is airborne, then the WHO said no, and CDC, they said now it is a droplet. What does that mean? Airborne, if you are sitting in this room and someone is just infected there, you could get infected, like tuberculosis, for example. Droplets, that means he has to sneeze or cough or talking, so he has to split something, droplets, to go and to get infected. So right now in the hospitals and everywhere we are dealing with it as a droplet, except in the ICU when we need to intubate a patient or we need to deal with the patient with his respiratory. We wear the N95 where we consider it as more protective to airborne. So the answer right now, until this point, we are considering it as a droplet. بالعربي شو دروبلت؟ الفيروس طريقة انتقاله حاليا هو بالرذاذ، مش فقط عن طريق الهواء. إذا كان حدا بالغرفة الرذاذ لازم يسعل، لازم يعطس، لازم يكون في سائل في الجو ولو صغير حامل لهذا الفيروس لتقدر أنت تاخده. فحاليا احنا بنتعامل معه على هذا الأساس، إلا في حالات معينة احنا لازم نتعرض للمجاري الهوائيه تبعت المريض في حال لا قدر الله هو بالعنايه المركزه، وبدنا نحط له تيوب، او مثلا في بعض العمليات وين احنا بدنا نتعامل بشكل مباشر مع المريض والمجاري الهوائيه تبعته.
Okay, شكرا كتير. Another thing is there are many videos and posts that are going around talking about heat kills the virus. And now summer's coming. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's not going to matter in the summer because the heat's going to come and the heat's going to kill this. Me living in Arizona and you living in Las Vegas, how much truth is there to actual heat killing the virus? Could you touch on that?
So far, I mean, we are new to this virus, so we don't know a lot of things about this virus. And for something like the heat about it, especially like you are talking about Arizona or Las Vegas, which will be like super hot here. Now, so far, we are seeing the virus is spreading even in a hot areas like in Malaysia, Indonesia, even in Africa. We are seeing that. Given that the CDC and WHO, they think the virus is resistant to heat. How much heat is it resistant to? We don't know yet. So is it like if it is coming to 100 degree or 115 or 120, maybe we'll barbecue this virus? I don't know, maybe. The thing that you have to keep in consideration that even we are in Las Vegas or in Arizona, we are under a lot of ACs, air conditioner. So the temperature is usually, we don't experience that temperature. Nobody is living under 115 all the time. If you are going to turn off your AC and maybe you will barbecue your house, you will die from maybe heat stroke before you are dying from COVID-19. But the idea is when you go to stores, when you go to restaurants, when you go to anywhere, this virus still, if someone is carrying, the temperature there is not that hot. So far, CDC say this virus is resistant to heat. We don't know what temperature to kill it. So no one can tell this answer so far. So بالعربي الفيروس هذا مقاوم للحرارة. ما بنعرف لحتى الآن بالدراسات الموجودة قديش الحرارة اللازمة لتقتل هذا الفيروس. مش مثل الانفلونزا انه بيموت الفيروس خلال الحرارة، and بالصيف ما بيكون موجود. ممكن تقل الاكتيفيتي تبعيته بأماكن مثل عندنا في ولاية أريزونا and ولاية نيفادا بلاس فيغاس الحرارة بتطلع بشكل كبير مثل الصحراء في دول الخليج برضو. لحتى الآن ممكن الفيروس ما يتحمل هاي الحرارة الكبيرة، وإن شاء الله ما يتحملها، ولكن بدنا نحط بعين الاعتبار إنه إحنا لما إحنا عايشين كلنا موجود عندنا الAC الحرارة بالداخل البيوت والمطاعم الأماكن دائما معتدلة بتكون 25، وهاي بالنسبة للفيروس بيقدر يعيش فيها بشكل طبيعي. ما بنعرف بدرجات حرارة أكثر من 40 إذا هذا حيكون يقتل ولا لا، ولكن الحرارة العادية 27 28 30 لحتى الآن. في أفريقيا الحرارة في أفريقيا ما ورجتنا إنه بتقتل هذا الفيروس أو بتمنع إنه انتقال الفيروس.
Shukran. So another thing is, I think there's a big misconception of the symptoms of coronavirus. So for example, some people say if you have a runny nose or if you're sneezing, that is not a symptom. It should be dry cough, but other people have said that they don't spit anything out, that it's just dry, it remains in your chest. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about that as well. What can you tell us? What are the exact symptoms of the coronavirus? And does everyone have the exact same symptoms across the board?
So I think we got these symptoms regarding no rhinorrhea, no symptoms of upper airway from China. And unfortunately, from China, we were misled by a lot of things. And when the virus came here, we figured out about a lot of other things going on. So the virus symptoms can come with asymptoms, no symptoms at all. And those are carriers, and those are the most dangerous because they are spreading the virus without knowing. And comes with mild symptoms like, no, it comes with rhinorrhea, it comes with sore throat, it comes with cough, uh, temperature, it comes with myalgia. That means like you are feeling fatigue, you are feeling muscle pain. Actually, the first symptoms, and you lose your smell and taste. And this were not reported until we saw it here. Also, several physicians, they reported they are seeing skin rash. So it can come as a skin rash, abdominal symptoms, GI symptoms like diarrhea, abdominal pain. It also was reported, and we are seeing it. Maybe people are not focusing on these things because everything was related to the respiratory system with pneumonia. The pneumonia and the severe respiratory symptoms, it is rare comparing to the other symptoms actually, because this comes like in 20% of patients that they need this. Like they have really severe respiratory pneumonia symptoms. 5% of them, they need to go to ICU to be intubated. Now, maybe when I'm saying 5%, they will say, oh, that's not a big number, but actually it is big number if you have millions of people, they are having these symptoms. So any symptoms could be COVID-19. Right now, you have to be serious about any symptoms you are getting or any illness. It is misleading right now because also we have allergies. So a lot of people, is it really allergy or is it really COVID-19? You have to be careful in both cases, and not to relate everything. For allergies, we had patients, they thought they have allergies, even doctors, and they ended up positive for COVID-19. So, so right now, anything related to respiratory or GI symptoms not supposed, I will be very careful with that and consider myself to isolate myself and to make sure that I deal with it seriously, especially we are on pandemic. And if you are on pandemic, that means you should consider anything related to it until you prove otherwise. سو بالعربي الأعراض تبعت الكوفيد 19 ممكن ما يكون عندك أي أعراض، ممكن تيجي بشكل خفيف. شكل خفيف إنه مجرد إنه عطس، تحس بحرقان بالبلعوم، تحس إنه ممكن شوية سعال خفيفة. ولكن اللي احنا شفناه إنه بتبلش أصلا في ناس إنه بيفقدوا حاسة الشم وحاسة التذوق، وكمان بيجي عندهم مرات انه كتير في ناس انه عندهم اعراض مثل اسهال او وجع في الامعاء او المعده. هاي كتير شفناها. ممكن احنا ما كتير يعني بالاول حطوا انه هاي اعراض لإلها للكوفيد 19، ولكن بعد هيك اكتشفنا انه هاي حقيقه هي اعراض للكوفيد 19. اللي كمان شفناه انه في ناس اجالهم طفح بالجلد، وهذا من الكوفيد 19. وممكن تكون بشكل عنيف، انه توصل انه التهابات بالرئه، وانها تسبب مشاكل كبير، انه المرضى يحتاجوا عنايه مركزه ويكونوا يحتاجوا اجهزه انعاش واجهزه تنفس ليقدروا يتنفسوا. قديش منهم هدول 5% حوالي محتاجوا لهي الشغله، ولكن هذا رقم كبير جدا في حاله لما احنا بنحكي على وباء انه بيصيب الجميع. اذا عندك مليون واحد، 5% يعني 50,000 واحد. 50,000 واحد ما عندنا الطاقه انه نستوعب. فالأعراض مثل ما قلت ممكن تتراوح من لا شيء وهدول خطرين، أو تتراوح بأعراض يعني عالية أو أعراض خطيرة جدا وتؤدي إلى الموت.
شكرا. في عنا كتير سؤالات عم بيسألوا باللايف كومنتس، بس نخلصوا الانترفيو بنردوا عليكم إن شاء الله. So what I had said is we have some comments coming in the live comments. So please be patient with us. We're going to get past just a few pointers that we want to discuss, and then we will answer your questions at the end. Our next question to Dr. Shamiya is, what exactly, how does washing your hands with soap actually kill the virus? And is it true that you need to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds? And why? And give us the science behind that.
So washing the hands or the water, first you remove the particles of the virus from your hand. The virus stays on the skin for about 30 minutes. So you want to, like, if you are touching, it is very common you touch your mouth, you touch your nose, you touch your eye. So you want to make sure that the particles itself is going out and washed and goes to the drain. That's part of it. And you want to have 20 seconds to make sure that you are cleaning the whole hand. Also, the water and soap, like they are interfering of the virus itself because they are chemicals. It goes inside the virus, so it deteriorates the RNA. It break the virus. So let's say that how it works. Especially also the same for alcohol. That's the other thing when we are doing it, because it break the virus, the wall of the virus, the RNA. So it will break it, so it kills it. So that's mainly how it works. So الفيروس المي، انت لما بتغسل ايدك لمده 20 ثانيه، احنا هون نشتغل على شغلتين. الشغله الاولى انه ننظف، انه نشيل كل الفيروس من ايدينا او المنطقه اللي احنا تعرضنا فيها. فهذا طبعا بتشيله من جسمك، او لتمنع انه انت تاخذها وتحط بتمك او منخورك او حتى بالعينين، وهدول بيأدوا انك انت تاخذ الفيروس. والشغله الثانيه انه الفيروس ذاته هو بيقتل المي، بتقتل الفيروس انها بتدخل بالار ان اي تبعته بتركيبته، فبتفككه وبتقتلها. نفس الفكره بالنسبه للالكحول، انه تقتل الفيروس.
Thank you very much. Shukran. So another thing is we keep hearing about vaccines. Vaccines are going to come out. They should be out, by the end of summer. They should be out in February. We also keep hearing that there's a mix of two antibiotics that actually can cure or help with the symptoms. And these antibiotics were made for malaria and other types of illnesses. Is there truth behind any of these claims? What is the best, really, what is the truth behind not only the vaccine, but the antibiotics and how it's helping patients today?
Okay, so it is two parts. The vaccine is a part and the treatment is another part. The vaccine, we are trying to make it just to prevent you to get the infection to start with. So you don't get the infection, you develop the immunity, so you don't get that. Now, we don't have right now any vaccine. Okay, a lot of companies they start to work on developing vaccine. However, those vaccines has to go with several stages. First, we have to have the sequence of the RNA. They develop that. They will start to have trials usually on animals first, but we are bypassing this to start directly on people. Now, we have to see what is the reaction to this vaccine. What are the side effects? What is the true protection that they are developing? They have to look at the antibodies that the body is reacting to it and to develop it to get us the immunity. That's take time. There is no vaccine can be developed in a few months. It takes about 12 months to 18 months. No one wants to give you something not tried. They don't know what is the side effects. We don't want to kill patients, people who are healthy just to give them inaccurate vaccine that can make things worse. So that's why we have to be careful regarding the vaccine, and it takes its time, and that is expected. It needs about 18 months. That is realistic. Some I heard like one of the physicians saying, "Oh, we are gonna get that by fall in September." We are not very sure about that. Also, remember, in such situation where there's chaos, there are a lot of scams. A lot of scams. Everybody will start to get you a test. Oh, this working, and turn out doesn't is not working. We'll get you. Oh, we have vaccine this protective, because right now we are bypassing a lot of scientific things just to get something products as soon as possible to people to try to help them, and that's will create a lot of scammers to start to say, oh, we have this right now, we developed this so they can sell it to people and they can start, and then we'll discover, oh, these are problems and it's not working. So we have to be careful about regarding the vaccine, the realistic, also scientific, all of the experts on that field, they are saying 18 months, maybe 12 months, as if we bypass other things. Usually it takes more than this, but for this specifically, because we are bypassing a lot of stages, we might get it faster, which is about 12 to 18 months to get this one. Now we will go to the treatment part. Now I know that Mr. Trump he said about the hydroxychloroquine, if it works, if it doesn't work. So it depends on the patient stage where he is. So the anti-malaria treatment, we it doesn't help on in the stages. Like if patient ended up with the whole lung is screwed, they have what we call ARDS. That really doesn't work. Uh, I mean, we are on the hands of God at that time to say, okay, and his body reaction, and if they will really get relief or not. The only thing we are doing what we call supportive. That's we just help them to breathe, but we are not so far using any medication. The only that we start to use actually other medication like heparin, which is anticoagulation medication to make the blood thin, because we noticed what we figured out recently that really there is what we call microthrombi, small blood clots going on all parts of the body, and that's what is causing even what the picture we are seeing. It is not really the lung infection itself. So now we notice that, and we started to use it as early as possible. The anti-malaria and azithromycin combination in New York, they are using it as outpatient sometimes or early on the disease. Both together can cause some heart problems, so we have to be very careful. Uh, Still, we got this from early studies from China and from France. Personally, I believe there are a lot of changes is going to happen as we are learning more about this disease, and I think that's going to change. We start to use the heparin and those anticoagulation recently. We are trying to get it from people who got cured, the antibodies, to see if that will help to develop and to help the patients. There were a lot of investigation about immunosuppressions medications that we are using for rheumatological disease to see if that will help what we call cytokines storm to prevent the severe inflammation that's affecting the lung and the heart. Still, there are a lot we are still trying to figure out. The guidelines and the policies are changing every week in the hospitals to try to find what is the best treatment and the cure for this. At the end, our goal is to prevent even to go to that stage where we don't know really what to do, and to make people are safe and not to get complications. بالعربي بالنسبة للفاكسين بالمختصر المفيد، الفاكسين بده سنة لسنة ونص ل نقدر نطوره. هذا احنا بنحكي انه مش عم ناخذ كل الاحتياطات اللي بناخذها بالعادة، فاللي بيحكي انه شهرين ثلاثة هو مجرد انه احنا ببداية تطوير فاكسين، ولكن مش معناته انه حيكون منتشر بالسوق وحتقدر تاخده خلال كم شهر. احنا نجربه على العالم، نشوف شو الخصائص تبعيته، شو اللي ممكن يعمل له مضاعفات، شو تأثيره على الجسم. كل هذا حياخد وقت لإحنا نقدر نحضر له، لأنه إحنا ما بدنا نعطي مضاعفات لناس ما عندها أصلا المرض. فهذا شغلة كتير مهمة لازم نحطها. مش إحنا لما بنستعمل الأدوية لأنه هو عنده موجود، شو موجود سلاح بإيدنا بنقدر نستعمله، لأنه واحد من الاثنين، يا حتموت يا حنستعمل أي علاج وحنقدر نساعدك. ولكن في حالة إنه إحنا بدنا نمنع المرض هذا، طبعا الاستراتيجية اللي بنشتغل عليها هي استراتيجية الحفاظ عليك قبل ما إحنا نسبب لك مشاكل. فبدكم تكونوا حريصين من هاي الشغلة. في كتير نصابين بهذا الموضوع، خاصة إنه إحنا بنخفف القيود على هذه الشغلة، فالناس تقدر تحكي كتير بهذا الموضوع. فبدنا نكون لحديث ما إحنا تيجي الفحوصات لهذا الأمر، وإنه إحنا بشكل فعلي إنه إحنا واثقين إنه هذا حيساعد الناس. مش لازم إنه إحنا يعني ننط عليها ونقول أو لقينا وناخد إنه بشكل سهل هذا الموضوع. بالنسبة للعلاج، هو طبعا هذا موضوع تاني. العلاج اللي موجود حاليا للملاريا أو علاج للنمونيا وهي الشغلات اللي احنا شفناه إنه بيساعد، ممكن يساعد ناس في المراحل الأولى ولكن مش في المراحل المتقدمة. احنا حاليا نستعمل شغلات تانية من أدوية سيولة الدم، مثل الهيبارين. هذه الأدوية لأنه لقينا إنه الفيروس عم يعمل تجلطات ولو بشكل ميكروسكوبي في الرئة، في القلب، في الكلى، وهي اللي عم تعمل هاي المشاكل بشكل أكبر. فلقينا إنه الناس اللي موجودين على هاي الأدوية أو اللي حطيناهم على هاي الأدوية استجابوا بشكل أكبر لهاي الشغلة. ففي أدوية كتير ممكن تطلع، في شغلات كتير ممكن تتغير. إحنا كل مرة عم نكتشف شغلات وعم تتغير الاستراتيجية اللي إحنا بنكافح فيه أو بنعالج فيه مرضانا. كل أسبوع تقريبا إحنا بنتغير، هاي في شغلات جديدة عم نزودها. كل الدراسات على تبعية الأدوية الملاريا هي إجت من الصين وإجت من فرنسا. فهاي لسه بعدنا إحنا في ضوء تطويرها ونشوف إذا هي فعليا عم تشتغل ولا لا. في لها مخاطر طبعا وفي لها مضاعفات. طبعا في كثير مستشفيات حاليا شو بإيدنا أسلحة وإجت، يعني إحنا بنحتفها يعني نحاول نساعد فيها المريض. عم نشوف انه في مضاعفات كثير عم تصير عندنا في امريكا اكثر من اللي اصلا الصين هي حكت فيها. ممكن احنا غير عن العالم، او ممكن حتى مضاعفات من الادويه هذه. فلسه هاي الشغلات حتيجي بعدين، واحنا ما زلنا عم نتعلم عن المرض هذا.
شكرا كتير. Thank you very much. So we're getting some questions, so we're gonna try to get through everything. So what, as a whole, what are best practices just to keep ourselves safe? And when I ask that, I'm talking in terms of things that people don't think of. Should people be worried about doorknobs, doors, things that people are touching on a daily basis because the virus lives on surfaces? We don't know how long they live on surfaces, if there's truth to that. So what are best practices? And also, does the virus remain on surfaces, and should things be disinfected and wiped down? What is your take on that?
Yeah, so the virus stays on surface. That is how the virus is dangerous and how it is very contagious, because it stays on surface for several days. Like the stainless steel could be for 2 to 3 days. Metal could be up to 5 days. So the doorknobs up to 5 days can stay. On the cardboards could be stay about a 24 hour. On your cloth it could stay for 1 day. So it varies from what is the material, but it stays for several days, and that's how it is dangerous, because you don't know who's passing by 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and you still can get the virus from them, and that is the most dangerous thing. So yes, you have to be very cautious and very careful about that. Like you have to clean everything, you have to disinfect, especially if you don't know who is bypassing this. So that is gonna be very important. So you have to have a good hygiene. You have to be careful. You have to wash your hand frequently. You have to be obsessive about that. That's what I will say. Uh, Now you will take it easy. You might have it. That's fine. I mean, that's up to you what you want. But that is our advice. You have to be very careful regarding this type, and especially if you go outside a lot, you might touch a lot of things, and people you don't know who was exposed to this area. Uh, and as it is over all the internet, how many days you can look at it, how many days can it stay, but a lot of things it stays from 3 to 5 days, which is very dangerous, and some reports up to 7 days. So you have to be very very careful regarding it. طبعا الفيروس بيعيش على الاسطح لعده ايام، من 3 ل5 ايام على الابواب، او قفلة الابواب ممكن تعيش ل5 ايام. انت ما بتعرف مين اللي تعرض لهذا الباب او لهذا المكان، واذا كان عنده فيروس ولا لا. فعشان هيك لازم تكون عندك دائما الاحتياطات اللازمه، ولازم تبتعد عنها او تنظفها بشكل مستمر لا تمنع انك انت تاخذ هذا الفيروس. هاي الشغله كتير مهمه، وهاي اهم شغله لازم انت تحافظ عليها، انك انت تغسل دائما، ولو انك بدك تكون يعني يصير عندك مثل مرض دائما التغسيل والشغلات هاي، لانه هذا اللي حيحميك. غير هيك لحتى الان ما في عندنا شيء ثاني.
So I think for me personally, and a lot of people that I've spoke to, one of the scariest things about getting the coronavirus isn't just getting the coronavirus, but what we've been hearing circulating out in the, on social media and the news is that you lose 30% of your pulmonary function after you heal from the coronavirus. How much truth is there to that? And how could that affect you?
So there are several types of patients. We are so saying 30% that's inaccurate. First, we are talking like, let's say about the patient who need to be in ICU, they got complications. They might lose some of the function of the lungs. Now, remember, to say for long term is different than short term. So for long term, for short term, that's mean within 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, up to 3 months. And that's what we can say right now. We cannot talk about long term because this virus is just very recent here, and we cannot measure that at this point. We might figure out a lot of things after a few months, what are complications that we were not even thinking about. So 30%, even if any patient got pneumonia with very severe complication, they might get some trouble of their lungs for a certain period, especially if they needed to be on ICU, they need to be on muscle paralysis, which part of the function of the lung will be lost, but they can get that back soon. So, and some of permanent damage could happen. So yes, if you got to severe cases, but not for everybody. Not for someone who have mild or not even get any symptoms, they will lose part of their function. Still, we have to see what is the long-term effect, and that will take time until we get these reports or these studies. But I will disagree about like everybody will get that. No, it is just certain patients who got to complications, and they might have problems to start with. Like they have lung disease that they are not aware of. So I would say this is very immature to talk about this for everybody. It will be for specific patients. بالعربي انك تفقد 30% من عمل الرئة هو كلام مش مظبوط لكل العالم. ممكن هذا يكون للناس اللي صار عندهم مضاعفات واحتاجوا يكونوا بالعناية المركزة، واحتاجوا يكونوا لأسبوعين أو 3 على أجهزة الإنعاش، لأنه حتى أي مريض بدون ما يكون عنده كوفيد يفقد جزء من عمل أو وظائف اللانجز او الرئه، ولكن بيستعيدها بعد فتره. لحتى الان هذا بشكل قصير، ولكن على المدى الطويل احنا لسه ما بنعرف شو مؤثرات الفيروس وشو المضاعفات اللي ممكن يعملها الفيروس للناس اللي كان عندها هذا المرض بشكل خفيف او بشكل سبب مضاعفات. هذا نيجي الدراسات بدها 3 شهور 6 شهور سنه سنتين لحد ما نقدر نعرف هاي الشغلات بشكل صحيح.
Shukran, Dr. Shamiya. We have a question that we were going to ask, but we actually had a member ask the same question. So we'll go along with this question. The question is, if you had the virus back in January, can you get it again or pass it along to someone?
So you are talking about two things. Do you develop immunity? So all viruses, we develop immunity unless there is a mutation on the virus happen. We are praying doesn't happen. So yes, you will develop immunity. There were studies looking at if you get reinfected with the virus, and they were in Japan. Some studies about that they reported, but this is not really accurate because they retested the patient too soon. Because after you get that virus, you still have the virus in your body. There are some reports up to 35 days you can have shedding of the virus. Mainly right now we are talking about 2 weeks, but there are reports for even 35 days. So maybe they got like confused about it, but definitely we develop immunity, and that's what we are talking about, groundbreaking the virus by having everybody infected. So we develop the immunity so we can not be a carrier anymore for the virus and to get this virus again. And this actually how is the logic about getting vaccine. If we don't develop immunity, good luck with the vaccine. That's mean we are not going to get vaccine, because that's mean you're going to get reinfected without developing immunity. So yes, you should develop immunity unless you are immune compromised or you're having issues with your immunity. That's totally different discussion, and maybe that's who they can get reinfected. We don't have solid data about that. We are praying there is not going to be any mutation. So that is a part of to get reinfected. What is the other part you asked about?
So the other part, it said, if you had the virus back in January, can you get it again or pass it along to someone?
No, after you are done, after 1 or 2 weeks, and they usually should supposed to get another swab from you to say that you are COVID negative and you are not risking anybody, so you should not be a carrier after that. As I said, still shedding the virus could happen after 1 or 2 weeks, and even some reports 35 days that you are shedding the virus. So you could, at that period, can give it to other people. So that's why you need to be retested and make sure that you are not carrying or shedding the virus anymore. So بالعربي هل ممكن تاخد الفيروس تاني؟ لا، لأنك تولد المقاومه له، حتولد الانتي بوديز اللي هي حتحميك بعد هيك. وهي فكره انه مناعه القطيع اللي كانوا بيحكوا فيها. بعض الناس اللي عندهم مشاكل بالجهاز المناعي ممكن، لانه اصلا ما كونوا شيء، وهدول اصلا اللي بيتعرضوا لاكثر شيء لمضاعفات للمرض. الفيروس ممكن يقعد بالجسم، او انت حتى بعد ما تاخذ الفيروس ويصير عندك مشاكل، ممكن اسبوع لاسبوعين يقعد معك الفيروس، وممكن ل 35 يوم صار في ريبورتس على هذا الموضوع. بالعاده انك انت بعد ما تاخذ الفيروس لازم يتاكدوا طريقه من الطريقتين، يا حيقول لك انه احنا حناخذ كمان سواب ونفحصك ثاني لنتاكد انه انت ما عندك الفيروس الثاني، او حيقولوا لك اعتزل في البيت لمده اسبوع لاسبوعين بعد ما تاخذ هذا الشيء، عشان يعني انه نكون واثقين انه الفتره هاي راحت.
Perfect, thank you. Our next question, is it correct that it is going to come back every year? And I think maybe this ties in with immunity that you discussed.
So it depends on if we got a good vaccine for it or not. They were talking about if it will start to be like seasonal, like influenza. It could be with some mutation. It could be. So we need maybe like influenza. We have to develop vaccines every year, and you have to get it every year to develop that. We have to look at it. We don't know yet. Uh, those are expectation and. Some like we are projecting it could happen, but this doesn't mean it will happen. Like H1N1, it is not coming as yearly. The vaccine for it works forever, so we don't know yet. This is gonna we are gonna look at it, but most likely we'll have another wave or strong wave maybe on the fall if the summer decrease the activity of the virus. So that's what we are expecting. سو بالنسبة للفيروس إنه حيصير بعد هيك يجي كل فصل مثل الإنفلونزا احتمال إنه يصير هذا الموضوع ولكن إحنا ما بنعرف بدنا وقت لنحدد ولنشوف بصراحة لنكون واثقين من هذا الموضوع إذا إحنا طورنا مصل أو فاكسين منيح ممكن يساعدنا نتخلص منه واحنا هذا اللي نطلع له ولكن لسه بدنا ابحاث على هذا الموضوع لنشوف ونراقب الموضوع هذا.
Our next question is the coronavirus anything like the valley fever?
It can, I mean, with the symptoms of fever or cough or things, it can mimic it. At this point, as I said, you have to consider as coronavirus until you prove otherwise because we are in pandemic. We want to make sure the first thing to rule out is corona or to isolate. At least you isolate yourself for 2 weeks as recommended by CDC to make sure that you are not spreading it. After that, if COVID-19 is not there, at that time you can consider other causes like valley fever. I don't think in Arabic they will have a lot about it. I don't know if they because it is mainly in the US or Arizona and Las Vegas area.
It is Las Vegas, Arizona. Our next question is, I think we answered it. If someone gets COVID-19, is it possible to get it again? So we answered that. Our next question is, do you think with precautions, we will be able to continue with our daily life without a vaccine by the end of the quarantine?
It is a difficult thing because I know a lot about that economically and all of that is affecting us and the way most likely even if they terminate the quarantine they will ask you for social distancing and to be obsessive about washing your hand and the hygiene. I think that is gonna last for at least 2 years until we are getting the vaccine. Or we develop all immunity and everybody got it and we developed what we call the groundbreaking for the virus. So I believe yes, it will be. Life is gonna change after, like from now on. You're not gonna go back to your normal life unless maybe you developed it and you know that I have immunity, so you don't care. But we don't know who has that, so I think the general recommendation will be still social distancing and clear hygiene procedures. So بالعربي إذا هل الحياة حتعود طبيعية؟ لا نعتقد إن الحياة حتعود طبيعية لحد ما إحنا نكون فاكسين للموضوع هذا. أعتقد حتى لو شلنا انه ما نكون بالكوارنتين ولكن حيضل قصه التباعد وقصه انه غسل الايدين والهايجين وهي الشغلات حتضلها موجوده حتى في المطارات ممكن احتمال تصير يعني procedures aggressive يعني لهذا الموضوع انه فحوصات الكل لازم ينفحص قبل ما تفوت على العمليات ممكن تنفحص كل هاي الشغلات ممكن احتمال تصير maybe I didn't say it in English but Uh, I think everybody is looking right now for before surgeries or even to board on a flights or things to have maybe you tested if you have corona or not. I think this will be the norm after that.
Our next question is, how is it that hygiene kills the virus and medicine does not? Cannot.
Well, first you have the hygiene, the virus is outside of your body. So let me explain. The virus goes to your cells and integrate in your nucleic acid. So it is inside your body, inside your cells. So you need a medication that's target that goes there and kill it, which is very hard. And until this point, we don't have a medication. What we are treating so far, even with the anti-malaria, is symptoms and not the virus itself. We are not killing. Your body is developing the immunity after that to kill this virus and goes to that nucleic acid and kill it there. So when the virus is outside in your hand, it is exposed. So any water comes in, any alcohol comes in, it killed it. It kills it. Not inside your body. So that's why if you drink a lot of alcohol, doesn't mean it will kill the virus because the virus inside the cell. So and that's why people they are talking about like gargling like water or vinegar or whatever or alcohol. Even some people and they killed themselves in Iran like to have so that doesn't work because the virus is already in your cells and
Can I add to that?
yeah.
So also to add to what you said, it kills it. Washing your hands stops it from spreading,
Yeah.
but not inside of your body once
Yeah.
you're
So
sick and
once you have a carrier, once you get infected, that's it. Nothing can kill. Like even water. Why you don't drink water and kills it? Because even if we are talking about like some people, they or maybe if we drink hot water, that will kill it because the virus is in our throat and that will kill it. No, it doesn't really kill it. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. So بالعربي ليش الفيروس بموت لما نغسل ايدينا وناخد لايك الهاند هايجين بس ما بموت لما يكون داخل الجسم لانه الفيروس بيفوت على الخلايا وهذا طبعا صعب انك تستهدفه المي ما حتوصل هناك ولا الهايجين حيوصل هناك لما يكون على جسمك او لما يكون على ايديك وقتها بيقتله ولكن متى ما دخل على الخلايا فاللي بيقتله هو المناعة اللي انت بتكونها لحتى الآن ما عندنا دواء ليقتلوا داخل الخلايا عشان هيك احنا لحتى الآن يعني بنحارب فيه ومش قادرين نتحكم فيه بشكل كبير خاصة لما يصير عندك اللي موجود هي بتعتمد فعليا بتعتمد على قوة مناعتك انت وانه جسمك يكون المضادات هاي ولا تعتمد انه احنا على اي دواء من الادويه اللي بنعطيها.
Shukran. The next one is the virus lives for 5 or 6 days. How how long do other viruses live in general?
Well, most of virus like few minutes. Some virus doesn't even live on outside. So sometimes 15, 1 hour, 2 hours. That's it. That we generally most of them they are within a few minutes or it has to be like directly you have someone to sneeze in front of you and you get that with the droplet when you are in at that moment but not as like few days or so that why this virus is very dangerous.
وبالعربي.
بالعربي الفيروسات بشكل عام بتعيش لدقائق وممكن ما تعيش اصلا خارج جسم الانسان او خارج الحامل لهذا الفيروس عشان هيك مش دائما لازم تكون انت متعرض بشكل مباشر وملتصق بالشخص اللي عنده هذا المرض وهذه خطورة هذا الفيروس انه بيعيش ل5 6 ايام هذه خطورته فالفيروسات ما بتعيش بالعادة بشكل كبير خارج جسم الانسان او على الاسطح خطورة المرض هذا انه بيعيش لفترة طويلة.
And the last live comments that we have is How will this virus affect pregnant women and the baby?
Okay, that's very important because pregnant women, they have low immunity in general, and they develop a lot of pulmonary problems in general because they are having restricted, like with their respiration because of the compression of the baby, especially at the end of pregnancy. We saw very complicated cases with the pregnant uh, people, and especially if they are obese. So that's why we have to be very careful. Uh, so the extreme for the babies, if they are neonates, they found they can get the infection and they can develop some complications. Kids in general, they don't have that much, but with early neonates, they might develop some complications. So that's why usually they separate the pregnant or the mom from the kids when they deliver them for 1 week or 2 weeks to make sure about they are not getting the infection. The baby will not get the infection immediately. I mean, rarely, unless the mom is or she was not symptomatic and or they didn't figure out that she had COVID-19 and then she transmit that disease to her baby, but not from the delivery itself. And a lot of times, either it is vaginal or it is C-section. Most of the time, the baby will stay safe. بالنسبة للحوامل طبعا احنا شفنا انه الحوامل عم لانه الاميونيتي تبعيتهم ضعيفه، فلقينا انه في مضاعفات عم تصير بالنسبه للنساء الحوامل، خاصه اذا عندهم نصاحه. وبدانا بالنسبه للرضع، اذا من العمليه الولاده بالعاده ما بياخذوا المرض الا اذا الام ما كانت معروفه وتعرضت لها او تعرض البيبي لهذا الفيروس من حدا هو كارير لهذا، هاي وممكن تسبب مشاكل. وهي بتعتمد حاليا البروتوكول اللي احنا بنمشي فيه انه لما الحامل تضع المولود، انه عازل لمده اسبوع لاسبوعين عن الام ليقدر لنمنع عنه هذا المرض. وطبعا لازم نكون ماخذين الاحتياطات للرضع لانه الرضع ما عندهم المناعه لهيك امراض.
Okay. Thank you. So I think the last question we had for us was, how serious should the community be taking social distancing and quarantine?
Well, it is very serious. Now, when we are talking about quarantine or social distancing, the idea of it, you might still get the infection because we don't know. Even if we do our best, you might still get the infection, especially if it is spread too much. So we have one of two ways. Either everybody stay at home and so if you got the infection, you're exposed it, the only one, and you don't expose other people, then you get within 2 weeks get good and you are not spreading it anymore. And everybody, if we stay under control like for 2 weeks or 4 weeks and we don't spread it to each other, so the virus is not gonna go anywhere and you are not gonna send it. So with that, we have to have agreement with everybody. It can't be only one or two doing it and the rest of them outside doing that. So because it will be waves of the virus. And so that one solution, which is very like complicated and very difficult to do. For social distancing, we are trying to decrease the amount who get the virus, and that's to help our healthcare system to be able to handle the complicated people and not to be overwhelmed with this. And then the other people will get maybe the immunity if they don't develop that much. It has to be agreement with the whole community, everybody about that. Because as I said, if you isolate yourself and other not, when you go outside, you'll get the infection. Simply. If we keep social distancing, it has to be very serious at this point, at least to help us as a physician and as a healthcare system to be able to handle so you don't die because you develop complication. because if we can help you, if we have the facility to help you, you should not die. But if we are overwhelmed, you will die because we can't provide you the treatment. So that is my message. So بالعربي التباعد لازم يكون برضاء كل الأطراف، لازم الكل يمارسها، ما في واحد إنه بيمارس واحد ما بيمارس، لأنه حتصير عملية أمواج من هذا الفيروس وحتاخد الانفكشن كمان مرة، الناس حياخدوه. حاليا التباعد حيساعدنا إنه إحنا نقدر نساعدك في حال لو أنت أخذت الفيروس وكونت مضاعفات، نقدر إحنا نعالجك، لأنه إذا كل العالم مع بعض أخذت هذا الفيروس مثل ما عم يصير بنيويورك سيتي أو صار في بعض الأماكن، معناته إحنا ما حنقدر نعالجك، وأنت حتموت من شغلة إحنا كان فينا نساعدك فيها، ولكن إحنا مش قادرين نساعدك حاليا لأنه عندنا آلاف الناس مثلك، مش أنت الشخص الوحيد اللي عندك إياه. لما يكون عندنا بعض الأشخاص عندهم هاي الشغلة بنقدر نساعدهم، نقدر نوصل معهم لآخر مجال ونجرب عليهم كل الأدوية ونساعدهم بهذا الموضوع. بدك تحترس، ممكن تاخذ الفيروس بعد هيك، ولكن احنا بدنا نعمل انه ما ناخذها كلنا بشكل مباشر وكلنا مع بعض، وان شاء الله يطلع فاكسين قريبا نقدر احنا ناخده وننتهي من هاي العملية.
Thank you so much. شكرا كتير. So I'd like to conclude this with leaving this in your hands. Is there anything that you would like to add? What is your message to the community? Anything that we didn't cover, in our discussion that you think is important?
Well, I think we covered a lot of things. I just want them to be safe and to be careful, especially our elderly people and our people who have comorbidities that can lead them to high complications. Those are the ones that they have to be the most careful. Even if we open back businesses, those are the ones that they have to be very careful. I wish everybody will be healthy and they have to take that serious. Stop smoking, lose weight, do exercises, sleep well. I know that a lot of people, they are not sleeping very well right now because they are very anxious about that, but this is how you are going to improve your immunity. Your body is the one is fighting this disease and controlling it and preventing complications. Or even if you develop communications, that is your body and the antibodies you develop that is gonna fight. So make sure that you have a healthy life right now. Don't gain weight. That's the most important. بتمنى لكم كل الصحة والعافية. لازم تشتغلوا انك انت تطور المناعة لإلك، انك تاكل شغلات مغذية، تبتعد عن التدخين، تبتعد عن السهر، تنام منيح. بنصح اللي أعمارهم كبيرة واللي عندهم مشاكل صحية إنهم حتى لو أنت فتحت الأمور إنك أنت تحترس، لأنك إذا أنت أخذت الفيروس أنت على الأغلب اللي يصير عندك مضاعفات. المناعة كتير مهمة لأنه هي هاي اللي حتكافح الفيروس هذا، وهي اللي حتساعدك أكثر ما أي مستشفى حيساعدك أو أي طبيب حيساعدك. وشكرا كثير لك.